Shinobi, today we are going to be doing something really special, and this is going to be something you guys have been demanding for a while, an element tier list. Let me know if you guys want to see a corrupted one as well. We may end up doing that in the future, but before we get started, if you guys are new, welcome to the Shinobi. We play all sorts of different Roblox games. If you guys have any video recommendations, leave them in the comments down below. All right, so we've got, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 elements to actually rank. You guys see Angel twice because Angel used to be an epic, now it's a legendary. So to start out, we're gonna do the rares, then epics, legendaries, and then mythics. Okay, so let's start with air. So I rank air, realistically it's gonna be one of the better rares, so I'm just gonna put it at B, which I'm not gonna waste too much time on these. Pretty much all the other ones are gonna be C, right? Like, all right, and then we got water there as well, which, don't get me wrong, these could be moved possibly. Like, I haven't spent too much time with these, but I've heard that air is one of the better ones, which that's perfectly fine. Now let's go ahead and start with the epics, right? So we've got ice. Ice has decent damage, right? And this is all based on like having fully maxed out elemental stat points, right? A lot of people ask me, well, T, well, I mean, how are you doing so much damage? What are your stats? Let me see your stats. So with me, I literally just max out my stat points in element. I want to be able to defeat enemies as fast as possible, right? That's the main thing, because the faster you defeat enemies, the faster you can do a dungeon and the faster you can get EXP and mastery, right? So that's why I try to put as many points as possible into elemental damage, which you can spare some like health or whatever, but that's what I do, right? So ice is gonna be, for me, I'm gonna have to give it a solid B. And the reason why is because it does decent damage. We're gonna put it in front of air, obviously, but it's not crazy enough to be an A, but it is solid enough. It's solid. It's solid. It's solid. Okay, the next epic I'm gonna rate is gonna be lightning. So lightning is really good, but I don't think it's good enough to be an S tier. Like, lightning's AoE is really good. The moves have fairly short cooldowns, but at the same time, like, it's not as good as I want it to be. But then again, it's an epic and you really can't expect much from an epic. The last move is pretty much El Rigo. I don't know if you guys watch One Piece, but that's one of Vanel's final moves, and it just pretty much shoots down a ball of lightning, and that's how that works, right? Like, it's a good move and you can pretty much like not spam it, but it comes back really quickly. But I'm gonna have to put the lightning in high A. Okay, now this next epic, I've got a different opinion. This one right here, this light right here, is similar because it has low cooldown moves. All of the moves are pretty much instant. So you've got light blast, light kick, and another light move, which are pretty much all instant, right? Like, you're getting damage out in less than a second, which is high burst damage, like to call it, right? So this is important because you don't want to be sitting there using a move and not doing that much damage. Like, that's the problem with some other elements. Like, you're sitting there using one move, it's doing decent damage, but by the time you get done, you could have used 2 or 3 moves and got your cooldowns back, right? So light is very quick, right? Even the ultimate, it's super high burst damage, doesn't go on for too long. For me, light is going to be ranked above lightning, not even A. I'm gonna say this is gonna be low S class. Like, that light is so good. Like, light is pretty much as good as gravity before it got reworked, I'd say. And it's pretty much as good as a mythic. It's mythic level, and we're not even talking about the corrupted one. Like, we're gonna talk about that in a different video, but that is gonna be a low S tier element right there, and that's really good considering it's just an epic. Like, this one for sure is something I recommend for noobs or people just trying to progress in the game. Like, light is so good. Pick up light over any other epic. Okay, the next element that we're gonna do is gonna be dragon. So dragon is in a weird spot for me, right? Dragon has really cool moves. It has decent AoE. The last move is fairly quick and has very large AoE, but it doesn't do as much damage as I want it to, right? I want there to be damage over time for the fire, right? Which I'm pretty sure it does not do, right? Like, we need to have some damage over time incorporated into the game, like some good damage over time. But like, dragon is decent. I think it's better. It's a tad tad bit more versatile than lightning, right? But I don't think it deserves the S tier spot, and it definitely doesn't deserve any, like, it would have to be lower than light if it was S tier, but like it's not there yet. Like it's good, don't get me wrong, this is definitely something I would pick. Like if you got light, I mean if you got dragon and you got light, just eat light. Like just consume light, because like dragon could be better in the future, but it's always better to get the best epics because you don't want to waste gems. But dragon just needs to be a little bit better, and then it'll have a higher spot on the tier list for me. So the next legendary is going to be gravity, and I'm gonna have to rank this one below dragon because it's okay, but it's just not that good. Like I don't know, I think the moves need to have a little bit more AoE. It's just not that good, and I think I like dragon a little bit better. You see way more people with dragon and angel. You hardly ever see any people with gravity. Like these legendaries need some work, man. I'm gonna have to rank that one lower than dragon in the A tier. It just doesn't do enough damage. It doesn't, like, it's okay. The cooldowns are okay, but it doesn't even compare to light. The next one I'm gonna rank is gonna be angel. Okay, angel is, in my opinion, the best legendary, because like right now healing, like, okay, prior to update 2, healing wasn't the best. Like it wasn't really necessary because you have all the potions, right? I think healing's a lot more viable now because we have this haunted dungeon, and I think it's going to be more viable in the future, which I hope it is, because I don't want to, like, healing is very important in a dungeon game. The potions kind of take the fun out of a healer, but then again, we don't have that many healing classes. There needs to be a little bit more. I mean, imagine like a super high damage healing class. That'd be cool, right? But we just need to, I think they need to limit the amount of potions we get, and this will allow for us to have more use for healers, right? So I'm gonna have to rank an angel, like the Midas too. You can literally heal, you can turn into Midas, which will give you damage reduction, and you can use a sword. Like, man, I mean, to be honest, like angel's pretty good for what it is, because you could technically do a little sword build, a hybrid build between sword and element, do some decent healing, and you know, you could be doing some decent damage with your sword as well, and you can heal your team. Like that's, to me, angel is gonna be ranked higher than dragon because it has so much versatility, right? It's not gonna be quite, shoot, this is a tough one. I might have to rank this one S tier because it is pretty good, and I think it will be higher on the S tier list, but not as quite as like, this is literally gonna be, hey, a tier list for what you should eat, right? Like what you should use. I would never pick light over angel right now. Like I wouldn't do that right now, just because angel, like there's not much use for healing right now. There's not the most use. There needs to be a little bit more use for healing and like staying alive, and I think angel will just gradually get better, right? Especially with the new caps and all that stuff, it'll just keep getting better, because angel does some nice damage, but it's not better than light, don't get me wrong. So the next one I'm gonna rate is gonna be reaper. Reaper is just better. This is a tough one. I'm just gonna have to rank it higher than light, and the reason why, I'm gonna have to put it right here, okay? The reason why, because light in theory does, then like we're talking about light, just regular light, right? We're not even talking about corrupted. Even corrupted light is better in damage, but reaper is still really good for its ultimate, because you can pretty much knock out a whole dungeon with just the ultimate. Like it's really good. It has a super long cooldown, but it also lasts for a long time too. You can do some nice speed runs with that. Like you can literally just go through like farming all sorts of lunar shards with that. Like that's really good. It's really versatile too. The part where it falls off for me for Mythic is where, honestly, is where like the skeletons are, you rely on the skeletons too much, right? I just think that it's not there in terms of the skeletons. It's nice, but I think there's a little bit too much, like you rely on your skeletons too much. But overall, good damage. Diablo's decent and needs a little bit of a buff. I mean, it has decent AoE, cooldowns are not too bad, and it does some crazy damage. So the next mythic I'm gonna rank is gonna be Galaxy, right? Galaxy has, like, Galaxy used to be so bad. It's still like, it's getting better. Apparently the second move now, you can't take damage, which is really good. So you could literally do like 11k damage just by spinning around, which I think is kind of weird. I think it's a little weird because like, that's not really a move. Like you're just gonna be rolling around on the screen. Like it's not visually fun fun, right? It's not, it doesn't entice me to want to use that move just because I'm just running, like I'm literally circling the boss, just hitting it with my star powers. Like what is that? Like, come on. I mean, it's, don't get me wrong, it's clean, but I think they could make it where it maybe, I don't know. It's clean. I think it needs to be changed a little bit though, like do a little bit something else, because I don't like the fact that all the damage is coming from just literally hitting the boss with that. Like, it just doesn't make much sense to me. Maybe make it shorter and make it do a lot more damage and have better AoE. I don't know, but that gravity needs to work. That move is like but gravity in terms of tier list, like it just doesn't do enough damage. It's somewhat versatile, but it's just a mess right now, and I'm gonna have to rank that slightly above Angel. Like it needs to be a little bit better, right? Like it's not there yet, and the reason why, like, it could be better than light, and this is normal light. I'd rather you have light normal than galaxy, because galaxy is so unstable right now that it's not safe to have this right now. I think you just need to keep watching showcases, right? And go into Discord and keep asking people, like ask me, because I'll be paying attention to all that stuff, right? Like, hey T, what should I do? Should I eat Galaxy right now? No, I would probably tell you to wait, but I'll let you guys know if it's time to actually have Galaxy. It's getting there. We're getting there. Don't get me wrong. All right, like last but not least, like Phantom. Let's talk about this. This thing is just, it's unreal how good this element is. It's so good. The first couple moves are gonna be based on the damage of the M1. So when you click, you have a M1. Like I'm doing like 8K, 9K with just 250 mastery. Unreal. It has 450 mastery. I'm doing 8 to 9,000 in M1. The first and second moves are gonna be, one's gonna be like a little burst, and the other one's gonna be like a big AoE, right? Like a slam. Both doing the same amount of damage as the M1, which is decent. It's not bad. Where it really shines is that barrage. Oh my gosh. I'll show you guys showcase maxed out. That's what I'm gonna do. Fully maxed out mastery. But that barrage, when you go to the dummies, I kid you not, hitting all 5 of them, I'm doing 1.2 million damage. If you divide that by 5, you're getting 250k. 250,000 per NPC. That is OP. This one is supreme. It's better than Reaper by far. Like, it is so good. The base one is better than Corrupted Reaper. I will just tell you that. But this is gonna be my tier list. I'm waiting for new elements to come out. This update was pretty decent, but I think they're working on something big. Just because, you know, it was decent. There wasn't too much content, but enough to keep it satisfied for a couple weeks, right? I mean, I'm ready for this next update, and I'm just ready to make some more content. But hey, let me know what you guys think about this tier list. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub. Let me know any video recommendations in the comments down below, and I will catch you guys in this next one. Peace out.
Thank you.